Why am I vegan? I just want to read something that I wrote. I was questioning myself. I think it's good to question my thinking every now and again. And the question popped up to me, why am I vegan? And I never really thought about it recently. It's only just become part of my life, so I haven't really questioned it, and I just wanted to reaffirm in my head what I was doing and why I was doing it. And I wrote something down, and I'd just like to film it and put it out there and open a discussion. So I like the idea of having discussions, and I love talking things through. So this is just my opinion, and I would love to hear everybody else's. Okay. Why am I vegan? It's a really good and interesting question, and one that I don't often challenge myself with, but I believe that it is good to constantly challenge your own thinking as a way of self development and finding out the real you. I live in a relatively small farming orientated town, and I've never thought to question the concept of eating, or anything in general to do with what I put in my body. I just went with the flow of eating whatever my parents put in front of me, and then followed what I'd learned from them as I grew up when it came to feeding myself. This is a pretty normal and how the majority of the population has grown up. There is one thing all humans have in common, is that we're all babies. We all start off as babies, and then what we do is how we develop, is we mimic our parents, and we learn from what they do, and we mimic their actions. Their actions then become our actions, and that is the majority of how I believe that we learn. We learn as a baby. We learn to grow, and we learn the behavioural tendencies, the eating habits, all the way up, and we do this all the way up until adulthood, because our parents are adults, and we as humans are becoming adults. So as babies, we look to them because they have already achieved the thing which we're aiming to be. So you just listen to what your parents say. So obviously your parents have listened to what their parents have said, and you don't question that. Why? Who are you to question your parents in that way? Why would you question what they've been telling you? And they've been able to bring you up and raise you, so why would they be wrong, I guess, is the question. It's not anybody's fault, this. It's not anybody's fault that the knowledge just isn't out there. It should be, but it's not out there. The knowledge just isn't out there about what happens, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, or what I believe is acceptable and what's not acceptable. Eating is a form of habit. You don't question it, it just happens. You eat because you know you like it, you know you like this sort of stuff, and you like, say, chicken, and you know you like your spicy chicken, or you know you like your certain things on a certain pizza. There's all different things that you know, and it's all habit in your life, and it stretches back to when you're a baby and what things you had when you were a baby and you were a child, and when you were growing up, and you continue to like those things and you continue to eat those things because that's what you've done throughout your whole life, and you don't question that. Obviously there's different things which are healthy and not healthy, and I think people have a pretty good grasp on what they think is healthy and what they think isn't healthy, which is great. I just think you should question, and I think everybody should question, what habits you have. Eating is a habit, so if you question it, you'd be amazed at what your brain starts to think about, and what conclusions you come to. If you actually look at your plate of food and you think about the meat and where it's come from, or the dairy and where it's come from and what's happened, you start to question things that you're doing. Whereas when you're eating unconsciously, you just sort of, it passes you by and you just choose to ignore it, basically, which is fine. I mean, like, I didn't even acknowledge, for not 1 second did I think that anything bad was happening to these animals I was eating. I just didn't think about it. It was never a thing in my mind. It was just what I ate. That was what I ate. I didn't question it. Why should I? It's just food at the end of the day. It's nothing else. So for me personally, it started in 2015, when in my suggestion box in YouTube there were just loads of pop-ups, about veganism, all this sort of thing, and I was like, what the hell is this? And then I one night I just decided to watch it. I didn't even know what a vegan was, so I just decided to watch these videos, and then for that, I can't even remember what video it is, but for one video I just stopped and I actually thought about what I was doing and what I was thinking and my thought processes. And I was shocked. I was really shocked at myself. How could I do this and had been doing this for so long when I didn't need to? There's nothing that says you have to eat meat and you have to eat that. There will be forever an argument. I believe there will forever be an argument on which is better and which is healthier for you, because there's always, for every argument, there's always a for and against. There's no way of getting around that. No one person is 100% right. But from what I have read and what I believe and the research that I've done myself, I believe that veganism is a healthier diet and plant-based food is a healthier way of living. But again, that's my opinion. It's not everybody's opinion. I mean, I was the sort of guy who would go into a restaurant and have a steak every single time. I'd have a steak every single time. I loved salmon. I loved chicken. I would not go a day without eating any meat or dairy products. Just never. Never, ever, ever, ever. I just loved it. And then all of a sudden, I just stopped because I realised that it wasn't right. Like, that wasn't what I wanted anymore. In the moment of that realisation, I was devastated with myself. I thought how naive I'd been. I just used what my parents had taught me and assumed that it was best for me. This awakening of thoughts was a huge incentive to me to start my own path on learning and knowledge and trying to find out what I could about what we were doing to animals and the planet and our bodies and just everything, and try and find my own, not from what other people said, but try and build up my own knowledge. And I decided that I need to learn as much as I can about all of this. What I learned shocked me. It was horrible. What you can see it for yourself. Just do a simple Google search, and you'll see some. It's disgusting. And I don't mean to say like, it's disgusting. Like, anybody who does eat meat, like, I'm getting at you. I think that if you look in and you see what is happening and what is actually happening, and it's not happening, you can't say it's not happening. Oh, I don't believe it. This isn't happening, because it is. There's no way to deny it. It is happening. We, as a human race, I believe, are greedy. The way we consume resources, not only food, but the way we consume as a human race is entirely greedy. We are greedy. We are egotistical. And we just believe we can do whatever we want, which isn't true, because we're destroying the planet from doing this, and we are going to destroy the planet. The pain and torture that we as humans put animals through just so we can enjoy some nice food is, frankly, it's stupid in my opinion. It's greedy and arrogant to think that we as a human race are better than anyone else, and that we should be able to just kill living, breathing, conscious animals because we like how they taste. I mean, how stupid is that as a reason? I like how it tastes, so I'm just going to kill. Would you kill your best friend Steve just because he liked how he tastes? I wouldn't. But maybe some people would. The fact that we all do this, even though we as humans can all survive and live healthier on a plant-based diet, I bet if you think in your head now and I ask you how long you want to live for, you would say as long as possible. If you asked a room full of thousands of people and you asked them how long they want to live for, they would say as long as possible. It's just a stock answer. Like, of course you want to live for as long as possible. Like, we only get one life. Why would you not want to live for as long as possible? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, why wouldn't you be healthier and be kinder to your body, the only one you get? Why not do that and help people as well, and help animals, and help the whole planet? It's a whole thing. Everybody has to work together, and not one person can make a difference, because that won't work. Everybody needs to make a difference, but one person can make a difference by changing their life and their lifestyle. I guess what I'm trying to say is you just have to try and connect the dots when you're eating. Next time you look at your meal, just think about what happens to the piece of chicken or beef on your plate. How did it get to where it is right now on your plate? And think about where it's come from, what it was doing, and how it got to that point. And then think about how well you feel about eating it. The last thing for me that had a massive impact on why I decided to go vegan was the impact on the planet. And the animal agriculture has the single biggest impact on carbon in the atmosphere, bigger than all cars, planes, boats, and other transport put together. Global warming is happening and it's real. If we don't start doing something about it now to help the planet, we're going to destroy it. Like, there's a beautiful working organism that just works perfectly, and you see all these stunning pictures on Instagram and YouTube, and you see all these videos, and they don't happen by us destroying it. That's the beauty of the planet, which we go and see, and that's amazing. But if we carry on, then I don't want to destroy that. Do you? Just by changing the way you eat, even just a little bit, even if you say to yourself, I'm just going to say cut out beef, I'm going to cut out all cow products, I'm going to cut out milk, and I'm going to cut out beef, and you say I'm going to do that, then that's a start. You're starting on the way down, and if everybody could just make a little start, and then we can push this forward and push it forward, because you can't click your fingers and it just happen. That's not realistic. There's no way you're going to click your fingers, it happens, and the world will live perfectly. That's just not going to happen. There's no chance. The one thing that people I always hear say is, well, what good does it do if I'm the only person doing it? Like, how can one person help? But that's exactly the wrong way to be looking at it. Every single person on this planet makes a difference. Every single one of us makes a difference on this planet. Poor, rich, we all make a difference. And I know it's easier, and it is 100% easier for the richer people to make a change in their life. But maybe it's up to them first to make a difference. They have the resources and they have the influence to make more of a difference than the poorer people in the world do. Every single person on this planet makes a difference. We all have a say in life. What we do not only defines us as humans, but it defines our species, and it defines how we're perceived in years to come when they dig up our bodies and they say, well, these people made a change, they made a difference, and they saw the bad thing happening and they fixed it. That's what I want to be known as. I want to be known as the person who fixed the problem, not who just let it pass them by. You changing the way you live can influence more people than you know. You change your life and it might influence your friend's life, and it might change your friend's life, and then it might change their friend's life, and it's a domino effect, and it will just keep falling and falling and falling, and eventually, hopefully, we can reach this dream state planet where everything is working and it's perfect. And it sounds all stupid, but it's like everything just works for the purpose, and there's no greed, there's no egotistical people in charge who only want to see their own benefit. And I guess that's why I'm vegan, in a very long-winded, if anybody actually even watches that. But yeah, even if it affects one person, like I said, it's domino effect. So I'll be happy. Thanks for watching.